Hello everybody, how you all doing? Today is Wednesday and my name is Gina and I am an expander. I love this word now. I feel called to do this video and hopefully I can release this video right away after I record it. And for those people who already know me, that I have this thing and I'm still working on that I have no problem talking. I can talk for hours. The part is, I already shortened every process I could, like simplify every process I could, such as make a video, make a cover, and post it. And I think the hardest part for me, or hardest part that I didn't really want to do is writing all these captions, writing what I really talked about it, because I just talk about it what I talked about it. If you guys have the same, this kind of things you're working on, let me know. So I know that I'm not alone. Today, I want to talk about it. It's very interesting. Universe like to remind me what I could talk about on this platform. And at this point in my life right now, I learned that to sit back and wait for the cues, wait for the things that I feel called to talk about instead of things that I think I should talk about it. Does it make sense? So I made a podcast last night. I recorded a podcast last night with the dear soul brother, and we were talking about that around a certain period of time of year, and things coming up and went into this huge resistance, right? So to be specific, let's say if you broke up with somebody, let's say 3 years ago. Now somehow 2 years ago, around that same time, around that, similar timeline, the month, you broke up again. And then guess what? The third year, when the time approaching, before you get to that month, you feel that tension, your body start behave in certain way that make you feel nervous, make you feel that you don't want to even go through those couple weeks or a month or two. Or every year around birthday, right? Every year around your birthday, there's something feeling coming up and you don't really understand it, but there's a lot of healing around those birthdays and the reoccurring events or reoccurring feeling. And we were talking about that, and we kind of like mentally to explain why. And the interesting thing is this morning when I went to a breakfast event and I met a dear brother, and we were just chatting, say how's going, and he mentioned that it's really hard at this time of the year for him, and we get a little bit deeper, so I'm not gonna go on the details, but kind of similar things that I mentioned, like things happened a couple years ago, or things happened, certain year around this time, some specific event, one after one happened, this time of the year. And every time, after that specific year, every time that month around that corner, we started to, or people started feeling some tension. And if you're aware, there's one, I will guide you to what you're gonna do or what you could do. If you're not aware, this is a video bringing you to the awareness, and I want to explain why. Okay, now the time is not a linear. It's not like we usually past, present, future, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. This is easy to explain. However, time itself is a spiral. Okay, so let's say things happen 3 years ago, right? So this is a point, okay? And time goes, right? Time goes. And since as a spiral, the next year you're gonna hit this month again, right? Not the same month, but not same month in same year, but same month in different year. It's a cycle, right? And in our lives, there's a lot of pattern and cycle. So Now the first year is right here, and the second year you go out a little bit more, and third year you go out a little bit more, and fourth year you go out a little bit more. However, if the things, that event happened the first year, let's say you have major broke up and you got actually traumatized, because breaking up is such a energy going back to your own body, but it took a while for people to get into a relationship, to get it and intertwined. So when you want to break up, and then it's so hard to separate the energy or bring your own energy back to know what is yours, what you're not yours. So it's a process. Breaking up is not easy, okay? So what happened is when the spiral goes, and at certain months of the year, when the time come back as a spiral, you will feel energetically is reminding you there's something happened there. So if let's say you healed, right? You healed, which means you understand why things happen, for what, you know, physical healing, mental healing, emotional healing, and spiritual healing. So usually if you say, let's say things happened, 3 years ago, let's use a breakup again. You had a broke up, right? And after you're working on 2 to 3 years, you understand why people shows up in your life to teach you a lesson, and you allow yourself to proper grieve, release anger, resentment, all the things that brought up for you. And the fourth year, you will feel much relief. You're like, yeah, I still remember that, but it doesn't really get you that much, right? But if we did not, let's say 3 years ago, you broke up, and it's still somehow when you brought up this person, you still feel your heart is very tight. You still carry the anger, resentment, the guilt and shame, whatever it is. I can guarantee you, every year, this period of time, you will somehow subconsciously, it's gonna remind you, say, hey, do you remember 3 years ago you had this breakup, and now you still have some things to work out, and if you somehow unconsciously did not working on that things, because as time goes, right, you will meet a new partner, new lover, and guess what? This new lover's mission, part of the soul contract, is help you to remind you that the unresolved emotional, mental, spiritual, even some physical healing need to be done because of the past lover. As a current lover going to remind you. And guess what? It's a pattern again, right? Because all the things, the things you're supposed to working on with the first lover didn't work out. And the second one step in the same position, different person, same energy. This also explains that's why you attract the similar energy in different relationship. But this video is not talking about that. This video is talking about that why you feel that every year around a similar timeline you felt that feeling is because that either 3 years ago version of you or the 2 years ago version of you still have the trauma, still have the healing has not been complete, or the emotion release, grief, healing part has not been complete. So that's why every year this specific timeline gonna remind you, right? So like I said, if you're not aware, this is to bring the awareness to your energy field. If you're aware that you have this pattern, oh, that's even better. If you're aware of that, then you're going to journal, you're going to write down in whichever way, you're going to figure out what is really this about. First of all, from the feeling, how do you feel? Right? You feel guilt, you feel shame, you feel mad, you feel upset, you feel heartbroken. Whatever it is, whatever scenario you're going through, because I use breakup is because everybody can relate breakup. But what if, let's talk about somebody passed away in your life, right? Let's say 5 years ago. Complete grief and sadness, you're still holding on. So when we back to that spiral, back to that timeline in different year, but same month, you're gonna feel that, because that's the energy you were not being able to release 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it is. Now, when we back to the same month, it's another opportunity, another chance for you to complete that emotional cycle or mental cycle or spiritual cycle, whatever it is. So treat it as a reminder, treat it as an opportunity, treat it as a chance, treat it as a choice point that you can choose to complete that process, then next year comes that period of time, you will feel less, and then, you know, and I would say, if you really tackle down what's really behind it, usually when next time come around, you will notice the big differences of your energetic shift. Okay, so I was not going to make this video because just from one friend I was talking about, it doesn't really, you know, give me this validation that I should make this video. But now how I function right now is I try to have universe to show me, because I learned that how to work with your ego, how to lean into this flow and trust is actually to learn, wait a little bit. Do not rush and wait for the sign, wait for the cue. If it's really meant to be, universe is going to show me one way or another. And last night when I had that podcast recording, I was thinking about making this video, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play with universe a little bit. And I was like, play. I want to just have a deep connection with myself, with my higher self, instead of like, you know, I usually hold on the energy very well, but I was like, you know what? I need a little bit more sign. Give me the validation. Not say I need to validate it, but through those kind of people, things, it can help me be more aligned to the things that I want to share, the message I want to bring forward, and also have less stress of, you know, think I should to. Now it's more of easy to just talk about it because there's more people are going through that. So give me a sign that, yeah, those videos are needed. So let me know what are things that you're going through, or what are patterns in your life you noticed that, yes, certain year, like myself, like birthday is a big thing. Usually around the birthday time, but that's the reason why I offer birthday healing, because the past birthday or this year's birthday, I had it in June. And, you know, I realized that last 3 years I have been working on my birthday, around my birthday time, because I noticed a pattern. I noticed that, you know, certain feeling will come back on this specific day or specific week. A week before your birthday, a week after your birthday, and their birthday week. Usually the feeling is very intense. So I did a lot of healing work around the birthday season, but like birthday, anniversary, you know, people passed away, broke up, you know, things like that. Those are the major life events that are going to remind you. Well, if it's the sweet ones, right? Marriage, you know, wedding, you know, every single year. That's why we have anniversary, right? Like anniversary for, you know, 5 years marriage, 10 years marriage. But, you know, you will remember those beautiful moments. But same thing apply to those dramatic and traumatic experience. Your body has memory, and we have cycle, right? We have this cycle. Why is 12 months? Why is 24 hours? Why is, you know, how many minutes, whatever. We are living in a, I don't even want to say computer design. It's like this matrix is one of the most beautiful designed matrix. There's a lot of pattern and the cycle in it. And we are a role in this cycle and pattern. And our body, even though sometimes you mentally don't understand what's going on, but our body will show you. So that's all I want to say today. And if you feel resonated, comment below. If you need extra support, reach out. You can follow me on Instagram, Goddess Intention, on Facebook, Inner Sensory Healing, and Unity Through Diversity. I wish you a beautiful day. Love you. Take care.